Shape's inbound call route settings are where you actually determine when a call comes in to one of your Shape numbers, what do you want to happen? Depending on your setup, you'll already have a bunch of call routes pre-set up that you can use just for different situations like local presence dialing, warm transfers, etc. But I would say the bulk of the bulk of inbound call routes are set for individual users. So the number is assigned to one person, and when that number is called, it goes to that one person. I'm going to show a couple of examples here, but of course you can add a brand new rule in the top right. So in this case, I have an inbound call route for Alex, and you can see some quick information here on the right, like is there IVR, hours of distribution, how many rules, but let's jump in here and take a look at some of these settings. So number one, you'll give it a name. If it's a particular user's call route, you can always name it after them, put their name in there so you know that it's theirs. But if it's more of a group call route and it's going to be calling multiple people, you can name it something like, let's say the number is posted on your website, you can call it website call route, just something that's unique to the route and lets you know what it's doing. Then you will select what phone numbers this rule applies to. If you haven't already, hop into Manage Phone Settings. That's where you'll actually get your phone numbers. If they're assigned to a call route, the call route name will be here. If they haven't been assigned to a call route yet, then it will say Set Up Rule. And that is what we are doing here in inbound call routing. With this option, you can apply a source to new leads that call in. So if it's a brand new lead, they haven't called into the system before, what source do we want to assign to those leads? Most commonly, it's just going to be inbound call. That way, if it's just a random number that's calling in, you can give it that source. But a lot of the times, you'll have a number specific to a source. For example, if you're receiving live transfers from a lead provider, you can change the source to that lead provider's name. That way you know exactly how it came in. It came in from a call to this number, and you can track that very accurately in your reporting. Then you can put it in a certain folder if you want for organization. The folders are going to apply back here on the main page, right here where we have these different folders. Of course, you can add your own custom ones as well. Then we have a couple of assignment preferences where we can turn on state licensing requirements. What this does is if we have it on, when a number calls into this phone, it can look at the state eligibility for users to determine who that call is going to go to. This depends on the industry if it's necessary or not, but something like mortgage where certain loan officers are assigned in certain states, you can have this on so that it's only going to go to users that are licensed in that particular state. Same thing for reassigning the lead to the user that answers. This is really handy for warm transfers. If you have a front end department that is making cold calls and they get somebody on the horn and they do a warm transfer to another user, like a sales team, then you can reassign the lead to the user that answers. That way it reassigns it to whoever is being transferred to. Then you have some more assignment notifications here where we can assign new leads to the user that answers the call, or we can assign new leads to a specific user. So in this case, this is Alex's call route. So if a new lead calls in, we just want to assign that to Alex. It's his phone number, right? But if it's a shared number, then we would want to assign new leads to the user that actually answers the call. If it's calling 10 different users, whoever answers that is the one that we want to get that assignment. Then down below, we have the actual rules of where the call is going to go. For starters, we have the ability to add call greetings. So if you want to play a greeting, like I know a common one would be, hey, a notification saying, hey, this call is being recorded for quality assurance. Or if it's just maybe you want to play something like a holiday message when the holidays are coming up, you can always assign that call greeting here and then set what pause you want for the recording. Sometimes, I would say most commonly there's no pause, but sometimes you may want a few seconds of ringing before the recording starts. Then you also have IVR menus. These play right into the call greeting. So an IVR menu, for those that may be unfamiliar, is button presses. So when you call in and it says, hey, push 1 to talk to sales, push 2 to talk to billing, press 3 to talk to accounts, etc. You have your IVR rules that you can add here. So if I was going to do this, I would say like this one's press 1. What keypad selection do I want? We support 0 through 9, star and pound. So any of those options are available. I'm going to say 1. And then what call route do I want to go to when they press 1? So if press 1 means, blast the LOA department, then I can set that as the call route and then just hit add rule. It's going to save that selection, and I can continue to build this out as I'm going. So press 2, press 3, press 4, on down the list. I'm going to go ahead and clear out that rule, and we're going to take off the greeting and the IVR, and then we're going to get to the actual call flow. Right now, we have one rule that just says, hey, forward to direct line. You'll give it a name, and then you'll set the option for what you want to happen. This varies wildly depending on what type of number this is. So if we want to call all available users, we can do that. We can call the assigned user in a particular department, blast all assigned users, blast an entire department of users, a team. We can, of course, call a direct number. So if we just want to forward that to an outside line like a cell phone or a desk phone, we can easily do so. We can forward to the assigned user. This one's kind of a tricky option, but a very, very handy one, where we can forward to an assigned user's cell phone through this option. We have an option, of course, to select what department we want to forward to, and then what field do we want to forward to as well. The fields that it's referring to with phone or work phone is going to be in each user's profile. There is a mobile phone field and a work phone field. So with this call route, we can forward to either one of those. We can play a recording. So if this is a number that all it does is play a recording and take in voicemails, very doable. Then we have round robin options for an entire department or team. So if we want to, instead of blast everybody, just call one person at a time, we can do that. And then, of course, do we want to process every user in that department or just up to 10 or less than? Then, of course, we have the user option, which will just pick the user rather than their direct line. It'll call their web phone if they're set to web phone, or it will call their cell phone if they're set to call forwarding. I'm going to go ahead and save that. And then we can add additional rules. You are not locked into one rule here. You can add multiple. So for example, I'm going to say this is a call user. So it tries their web phone. And then I'm going to add a new one for call direct line. And we'll set that to call direct number. And we'll put in a random number here for, 25 seconds or however long we want that phone to ring this rule. Now you'll see we have two, and these just play sequentially, right? So it'll call the user first. If I'm at my desk, I'll answer it. If I'm not, it's going to go right to call my direct line. So this way you can build out several steps on top of one another and build out your own call flow rule just directly within this one number. So it can call one person, it can call multiple groups of people. It just totally depends on what your goal is for this call route. Lastly, we have missed call settings. So what do we want to happen when a call is missed? We can play a voicemail greeting. We have some default ones in there for everybody, but you can upload your own in inbound voicemail recordings. Just make sure they are in MP3 format. And then what do we want to do with notifications? By default, it's set to all assigned users to the record. What this means is when a phone call comes in, whether it's to multiple people or even just one, everybody gets notified of the missed call, the incoming text, and the incoming voicemail as well. However, if this is just a particular user's phone, so let's say it's Alex's phone number, then we can just easily say, hey, no matter who it's routing to, no matter what's happening, we can set this to where all notifications go to Alex only for calls, texts, and voicemails to this number. And last but not least, we have the option to change status. This is really handy if you want to build out like a missed call workflow and maybe have a list view for all of your missed calls. You can easily say, hey, if a call is missed, change the status to missed call. That way you can track it in your reporting, you can filter by it, you can set up prioritized views for it, and then even set up drip campaigns for it so that they receive an immediate text or email after that missed call, letting them know, hey, we got your email or we got your voicemail. We are reaching out as soon as possible. Hopefully this video helps. If you have any follow-up questions on routing inbound calls through Shape, don't hesitate to reach out to help@setshape.com.